temperature around 64-65. Thursday should be partly sunny, a little bit cooler in the mid to upper 70s, and it'll stay in the mid to upper 70s Friday, partly to mostly sunny. Educate, entertain, and empower. We're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Thailand's former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra has been sentenced to 5 years in prison in absentia after being found guilty of criminal negligence. British Prime Minister Theresa May says she's bitterly disappointed at a move by the US to impose tariffs on aircraft made by Bombardier. UK Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn says his team is ready to run Britain. And at least 14 people have been killed in an attack on a drug rehab centre in northern Mexico.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone out there, and happy Wednesday to you. Thank you for tuning in to Community Conversations. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. And can someone talk to the weather people? Like, can we get some fall weather going on here? Anywho, without further ado, my special guest today is Mr. Shamal Carter from Midsouth Health Systems. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, so today we are going to be talking about mental health, and more primarily in the Black community or minority community, because we notice there are some issues that don't get addressed in a timely manner, and then issues arise within the family that probably could have been prevented with the proper preventative care. And then we're also going to talk about some different community projects that Mr. Carter is working on. If you haven't seen him around like this past 3 to 6 months, you've been kind of busy in the community trying to put together some different family-oriented events to really try to bridge that gap in the community. So we're going to talk about that more in the second half, but I really want to get into some mental health issues, some topics. There's a lot of stigma about, we don't have issues, nothing's wrong, just pray about it. Or, there's all these different cliches that people throw at you to try to suppress and ignore and sweep under the rug. So let's try to dispel some of those myths and bring out the facts and, tell people where they can get help or what, to do, what steps to take to get the help they need.
Okay. More commonly than not, with children, the issue that you have is the parents don't want to admit that there's something going on. And so they just say, well, it's a phase that they're going through, or it's an age thing that they're going through. And it's not. You have families that go years without getting the help that they need, and then the child get caught up and they don't get the medication, and they get labeled, and that's a negative thing. Midsouth Health Systems, we are the leading #1 mental health community center here in Northeast Arkansas. We cover 13 counties.
How many do you cover?
I cover 7 of the 13.
Oh, Jesus.
And in it, man, the first thing you need to do is, if you notice that there's a problem, go to your primary care physician and let them know, hey, I need a referral.
Okay.
And when you do that referral, we'll do an intake where we bring you in and pretty much just do a screening in so many words, and then try to assess what's going on. There's a system that we use to kind of see what's going on with you.
Okay.
And then we have wonderful therapists and doctors there at our clinics, at all of our clinics, and they know exactly what they're doing, and with the medication and everything, they're wonderful, and they're able to kind of get you on the right path. Families look at medication as a negative thing. And I'm one person that'll tell you that medication has saved a whole lot of lives. And I mean, psych meds or ADHD meds or whatever, they have saved a lot of lives, and they've kept kids in school, they've kept kids out of jail, because there's a negative stigma that if I take this medication, I'm going to be a zombie. Mm-hmm. And that's not the case. No, I'm not a doctor, but I've worked around this. This has to be my 8th year in this field. And I can tell you that our doctors are going to get you on the right medication. Okay. No, I don't suggest that you go to your PCP and say, "Hey, my kid won't sit down. Give me something to help him sit down." But let somebody that's professional, that know how to do it, to know what they're doing, let them work with you and your family to ensure that you're on the right medication.
Okay. Now I have seen children that have said they feel like they need. Okay, how can I say this? It's almost like they have this consciousness about, I've been labeled this, I need this medication in order to act right. So have you ever encountered, though, a situation where maybe the child, not necessarily was misdiagnosed, but medicated with either the wrong thing or given medication unnecessarily?
The thing with psych meds is like trial and error. Okay. Everybody responds different to the different medications. Nobody have one specific medication. It's like your health. Okay. When you go to your doctor, he does not give you the exact medication that he knows is going to work. Okay. But he's going to go by what he's looking at. He's going to look at your fact sheet to see what you're dealing with, and he's going to say, "Well, we're going to try this." And if you notice, they always tell you to come back for a follow-up to see how your levels are, to see how it's working with you. Okay. And if it's not working, then they switch it out. Okay. It's no different when it comes to medication for your mental health. Our doctors can't predict how your body's going to respond.
That's right.
So we have to change them out. We have to be able to say, okay, this is not working. Let's switch to this, or let's increase this dosage, or let's decrease this dosage. Okay. A lot of times our families go get the medication, and the kids are zombies, and what I'm saying, that's one thing. But then you don't go and say, "Hey doc, my kid is not responding well. Can we increase or decrease?" Or that's a big thing.
And then I'm going to touch on one more thing concerning medication, and we'll move on to getting to the root of the matter. With medication, again, like with your personal health issues, medicine takes a while to level out. So that's one thing I do know, that, like you said, some people are concerned about how their kids kind of fade out, take a nap or go to sleep, or just kind of non-responsive. The medicine just may need to level out. I'm kind of on the fence on medication, but I have seen the positive effects of it, so I'm not against it. I'm in a I don't know stage right now. But
with medicine, think about it like this: if you have a heart problem, if you have a heart problem, do you say, "Well, doc, this medicine's gonna make my stomach hurt"? I'm not going to take this medicine because I know it's going to make my stomach hurt. Or do you say, "I know this medicine is going to help me live longer, and I need to take this medicine in order for me to be better"?
Yeah. God is working on me. Okay, so if anyone out there listening has any questions or comments, please give us a call here in the studio at 870-277-1080, or drop us a message on our Facebook live stream, and Mr. Carter will be happy to address it. He's the professional here, so he will be the one addressing all the questions. Okay, so we're going to talk about getting to the root of the matter. Before we get to the stage where maybe someone needs to be medicated, they need to first see a therapist or psychologist or psychiatrist, because there is often a root to why someone, aside from maybe ADHD or something, but of course, again, I'm not a professional, that's why you're here. But there's often a root, a deep root, to why someone is acting, behaving in a certain manner. So let's talk about how do we address that.
Okay. Mental health is sometimes hereditary.
Oh, okay.
You can have a family history of it, or it can be a catastrophic event that induces it. Okay. And when I say, for instance, if mom is bipolar, then you carry those traits. Okay. It's pretty much a chemical imbalance. The brain tells you what to do, what not to do. There's different portions of your brain. Okay. So therefore, if mom has it, it's just like, my dad's bald. So of course
you're gonna be bald.
I'm already bald. So by the time I was 24, I started going bald. it's the same way. It doesn't happen at a certain age when it comes to mental health. It could happen as early as birth, or it could go, back as far as, when you're 40 or 50.
Okay.
It is not age defined, but if it's something that's, that's is a family history, then, more than likely you will have, something. It's like high blood pressure or diabetes. If it runs in the family, then more than likely, you're one of the ones that deal with things in that manner.
Okay.
Catastrophic, is something people don't talk about, but being, sexually abused or physically abused or, just
verbally,
being abandoned, different things like that. That can trigger, depression, and then depression can trigger other things, and that kind of sets you up for a string of events that may happen, and that may set you up for, hey, now I've triggered this. Everything, there's a trigger to everything, that's life,
Do you feel that someone, or have you encountered patients that are over 40 or 50 that have gone so long in their life with certain behaviors that now they are seeking help, saying, I don't want to live like this anymore. There's got to be something more going on with me than just, I have a bad attitude.
I for about 4 years, I worked on, we have what we call a transitional unit here in Jonesboro, and those were all adults. And in those adults that they've come to a place where, they've committed crimes. And, society can no longer help them. It's going to take intense, in facility treatment, but we're trying to transition them back into the community. And you encounter that a lot. I mean, if you think about it, mental health has just surfaced in the African American community, maybe 15 years ago, or maybe 20. I'll give it 20. And when I say surfaced, I mean to the point where people will come out and talk about it. I know personally people won't say anything about it only because they feel like they'll be judged. They feel like, and honestly, how I feel about it, I feel like they feel like mental health is like, HIV or cancer or something like that, they feel like it's something that, can't be treated, or they feel like if they say they don't have it, they don't have it. And let me be the first to say, my dad's a pastor. And I believe in God. I know what God can do, but at the same time, I believe God put people in places. Your healing can come through medication. Your healing can, and that's my belief on it. I know that they say it's a spiritual thing. I'm not doubting that. I'm not going against any religious person. I'm just saying, if you're gonna get help the right way. Don't be like, Pastor, pray for me because I'm having an anxiety attack. Well, let's go get you some medication, and we'll continue to pray that this medication do what it's supposed to do.
All right. So, I listen to you talk and just thinking about different issues some people may have, and some people use their conditions or disorders, or I'm sorry, I don't know how to label it, as an excuse. When you are dealing with your patients, do you try to help them overcome or face the reality of what they have, what they're dealing with, and I hate to say get in their face, but try to tell them, okay, don't use it as an excuse to cuss somebody out or just be moody all the time, or don't use it as a crutch. Like, let's talk about what's going on. Do you encourage your patients to talk?
Since I primarily deal with kids.
Oh, wow, that's challenging.
Since I primarily deal with kids, I don't have that problem. I guess because I'm a big guy. If they know what they're supposed to be doing, I may more so have to talk to the parents about, hey, maybe you need to do this different. Maybe you need to do that different, et cetera, et cetera. I may do that. But beyond that, no, I don't really have that issue. Now with adults, they may use that as a crutch, but it's up to us as a community to say, hey, I understand that, but the stigma's not going to get us down. We're going to have to work toward a different goal. You can't use that to why you cuss the police out. You know,
Okay.
you can't use that to why you cuss the judge out, because that doesn't reduce your jail time.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. So, from your experience working with children, so we're going to stick to that since that's who you mainly work with. Have you seen a lot of... Okay, better question. What is the time frame do you see some improvement? Like, when do you start... From the time you start working with them, you've been doing this for 8 years. Mm-hmm. So, from the time you get them as a patient, when do you start seeing some improvement? I'm sure it's a case-by-case basis, but... Maybe on an average.
With kids, it's different because you can't tell if mom and dad is doing what they're supposed to. So if I have, as a family support provider, if I have that support from the family, then you will see a tremendous turnaround. I've seen it as early as 30 days. That after 2 or 3 weeks. There's the medication has got in their system. Mom is implementing some of the goals and things that we worked on. So as early as a month, you can see a change in it. I've seen teachers say, well, since he started seeing you guys, he's a different student. So it's all about how the family responds as a whole versus just one person responding to it. If you don't have a supportive family, then of course there won't be any change.
And since you are so community oriented, what can we as a community, what encouraging words can you give to the community to jump on board and help out each individual that has been diagnosed or they recognize has a mental disorder?
You know how you may encounter a different person and people will whisper for a better lack of words. It's time to stop that. As a community, you treat them like you treat the next person. They and again, it depends on the family. If mom is giving medicine like she's supposed to, then everything will be fine. Everything will work out for the better. Because it's easy to correct somebody when they're at the correct mental state. Public correction, community correction. Hey, I'm going to tell your mama. I think we talked about that last time. I'm going to tell your mom what's going on, or I'm going to tell so-and-so, or whatever. As a community as a whole, support everyone. Don't just support, John and whoever. Support everybody, whether it be in the classroom academically or on the football field or in the community, in the church, whatever the case may be. Support everybody, that's a big thing.
And so what are some things that now we'll get into more of the community activities, but I know there are different awareness months for different awareness for different issues. But individuals who have these different disorders, it's 24/7, 365. So
it is.
What I like to do is I like to encourage everyone to advocate every day, all day for someone you know and love, so they can get the help they need, and encourage people that have these different disorders to talk about what it is. That's another thing we don't do, especially in the Black community. We don't talk about what we have. You touched on that earlier. No one wants to address what we have going on. If I talk about it, they're going to label me. They're going to call me crazy. They're going to call me whatever. They're not going to want to deal with me. But we have to start talking about these things so that we can heal internally, and then we can connect with more people. So how can we as a community, though, really work together? I know you said reach out when it comes to kids. As adults, like, we have more... Is the word cognitive dissonance? We have more consciousness about our actions and behaviors and our words and things. So how can we as adults really help I
understand what you're saying. As adults, the best way for us to help other adults is to point them in the right direction. And I say that, and you say, well, you point them in the right direction, are they going to go? It's not on us. You have to want help in order to receive it. And if you send me somebody, if I say, hey, I need you to go do what we call a safety check. And in that safety check, they find that this person is unstable. If that person refuses to go, then you can't help them.
Okay.
So we just wasted my time, and you wasted the police time, because at that point you can't make anybody do anything. It's like the hospital.
Okay.
You can't. They don't have to treat you if you don't want them to treat you.
Okay.
You know, it's the same way in the mental health world. If you don't want help, then we can't give you help.
And one thing I do want to point out, I've known people that do suffer depression and suffer from other issues. If they reach out to you, you know, try to be a support system for them. Don't push them away. That's one of the worst things. I've heard this from people who suffer depression. Don't push them away, because that makes it worse as well. You know, I don't understand a lot of things, but I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to be more compassionate. So I just want to encourage everyone to, you know, receive them with open arms to the best of your abilities.
The number one thing I learned in a conference last week, for so long we've said, well, if they say it, they ain't gonna do it. I've heard so many people say that. That's not true.
If they say it, they won't do it?
They say if people verbalize, you know, I'm going to kill myself.
Okay.
They feel like that's just them trying to get attention.
Okay.
But that's not the case. That's a cry for help. That's the first cry. So if you ignore the first cry, then the second step, they're gonna attempt it. And then, you know, after they attempt it, if they're not successful, they're not afraid to do it again, because they've already tried it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we need to be more aware of the people around us.
More aware, but more, I guess, sentimental to how they're feeling. Like, you know, have a better feeling toward how they feel mentally.
Okay. All right, so we're going to stop right there and take a quick break. You're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. When we come back, we're going to talk about some community projects that Mr. Carter is working on, and then follow up a little more with some other mental health topics, and hopefully, you know, get everyone encouraged to look out for everybody else.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Do you need to put some life back into your marriage? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. There are some things we need to survive physically: air, food, water. There are some things we need to survive emotionally in marriage. Things like love, trust, truth, and understanding. When a marriage is deprived of such things, it can slowly start to die. Here are 3 ways to revive a dying marriage. First, stop suffocating your marriage. Your words are powerful. The words you say out loud to your spouse, and the words you say silently to yourself. When your words and thoughts are constantly negative, the oxygen will be sucked out of your relationship. So be careful to use words that breathe life into your spouse. For more ways to revive a dying marriage, check out my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Attention members and guests, KLEK 102.5 FM and Legends Barbecue Smokehouse is bringing you more blues and southern soul featuring Mr. Sam, performing hits like Roll It, Roll It.
She said jump up, roll it, jump back, roll it.
Zydeco some more.
Let's go, Zydeco some more. Let's go.
Go to work.
To the left, y'all go to work. To the left, y'all go to work.
And more. Mr. Sam will be in the building at Legends Barbecue Smokehouse Saturday, September 30th. Doors open at 7 o'clock p.m., showtime 8 o'clock p.m. Tickets $10 in advance, $15 at the door. Tickets available at Legends, Cool Cuts, KLEK, and online at klekfm.org. More blues and southern soul just for you with Mr. Sam, Saturday, September 30th at Legends Barbecue Smokehouse, 1025 West Johnson Avenue in Jonesboro.
This event is a KLEK fundraiser.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
It's here. The Black Business Expo 2017. The Black Business Expo 2017, sponsored by the Arkansas Black Business Consortium at the Hilton Garden Inn, Saturday, September 30th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Open to the public. Door prizes given away. There will be a breakfast provided. There will be 2 seminars with information on going into business and financial strategies, as well as the opportunity to promote business specials for the holidays and beyond. Booths are still available. More information at 870-206-5191 or 870-316-7082.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Hardin, along with Mr. Shamal Carter from Midsouth Health Systems. We have been talking about mental health disorders and how the community and families can rally together to help individuals with whatever issues they're dealing with. They need a support system. They need a cheerleading team. They need someone that just cares to recognize maybe something is going on and try to help them to get the help that they need so they can live, live life more abundant. That's what I want to say. I'm sorry.
Normal.
Live a normal, or what, quote unquote, what society says is the normal life.
Yeah.
Okay, a more stable life.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on, and we will touch back on some topics, but we're going to move on to some community projects that Mr. Carter has been involved in. Like I said, for the past several months, he's been quite busy in the community. I remember some time ago you hosted a family bingo night, and you did something for back to school.
I did a back to school backpack drive.
Okay, and so coming up though is a chili cook-off. I've seen this flyer floating around. So tell us more about, how this came together and more about the event.
Okay. I sat up one day and I started thinking about how the community could benefit from all these events that we do. I never want to do an event in the community where no one gets anything from it. And when I say gets anything from it, I don't mean just physical things, but knowledge as well.
Okay.
So I did some research, and your depression and suicide is just through the roof between the months of November and January.
Oh wow.
Because the holiday is portrayed as the spirit of giving, but everybody's wanting to receive because they feel like everybody else should be giving. So I said, well, everybody loves chili when it gets cold.
Yes.
So I sat down with a few people and I said, hey, let's do a community chili cook-off. And I said, well, if we could do that and we could incorporate a toy drive with it, then we could do a Christmas dinner in December and present these families with these gift baskets, and they get a great dinner at Christmas as well. So I put the things together. I put it together, and we're going to do it at Allen Park on Ray Street.
Okay.
We said, well, why don't we give them cash for entering into this contest?
Okay.
So we limited the amount of slots. We said 15 slots. We have a limited amount of judges and them eating the same chili all day. So We said, let's do something for the kids as well.
Okay.
So we said we're going to do a coloring contest for the children.
Oh.
And Mid-South's Matt Knight, everybody that know Matt know he's a phenomenal speaker. I mean, I love him. He's awesome. He's going to be my speaker for that day.
Okay.
And what we'll do is we'll have registration forms for the Spirit of Giving extravaganza, which will be December the 19th, I believe. And on those forms, it'll just ask simple questions. Your name, your children's name, and how old they are. I don't need your income or your social security numbers. That's between you and God. If you're taking away from the next person because you want to be greedy, that's on you guys. But we're going to reach out to everyone and say, hey, anybody can come eat chili. We do ask people to donate their toys and the non-perishable food items, and I'll post my information for you guys to get a hold of me. The entry fee is not money. The entry fee is non-perishable food items and toys, no less than $50 worth. First place wins $100 in a trophy. Second place wins $75 in a trophy. And third place wins $50 in a trophy. So if you can place in the top 3, you can either double your money or you can get your money back. No,
that is an awesome payoff. What better way to give back to the community? Okay, you're not giving away anything monetarily. You're not giving away any money, but you're receiving money if you win a prize. But what you're giving, though, with the non-perishable food items and toys, is so much more valuable. You cannot put a dollar price on the joy it gives to someone else to receive something that helps fill a gap in what they need.
It is, and it helps because if you think about it, parents become depressed because they can't give their kids what they want. Children become depressed because they see other kids with things that they want.
Wow.
So it's a chain reaction. So we figure, hey, we got our admin that's going to come in. We have some people out of our admin. Our children's director, Lori Poston, she's going to be one of our judges.
Okay.
Our trans unit coordinator, Gary Tabor, he's going to be a judge. And I believe Cassandra Patterson and Mike Patterson, they both are coordinators. She's our school-based case manager coordinator, and he's our children's clinic coordinator. So we have a lot of people coming out just to show you guys. Yes, we are a community mental health center, but you're not just going to see case managers or people. You're going to see the directors and the people that really want to make a difference in our community. I'm reaching out to our current fire chief and our police chief and our mayor as well, because I want to get them on board, just because it's a community event and we want everybody to know that we are a loving community and we want to be there for their families. After the 40 families that we service from everyone giving, I do have an option for the other families. There are other organizations in town that will assist these families, and I have all of that information. So if we can't help you, you'll get help somewhere. You'll get help somewhere.
All right. So again, and I'm going to make sure to post this on the KLEK's Instagram, Facebook, and I'm going to try to step up on Twitter. I'm trying to step up on Twitter.
I'm not fluent on Twitter, so it's okay.
All right. And again, this is the Bridging the Family Gap. So do you think you're going to ever patent or get a trademark on that name, Bridging the Family Gap?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm working on it. It's one of those things where if you go back, and I think I explained this to you last time about what Bridging the Family Gap meant to me. And if you go back,
it doesn't hurt to say it again.
For so long, families grow apart because of a mental illness. And when I say grow apart, I mean you're separating yourself from your family.
Okay.
And under you, and the reason because of the separation is because of your mental illness. So your family's on one side, and they may even have turned their back, and you're on the other side looking across. What I'm doing is building a community to put these families back together, to say we can get you help. This is what we can do. Working with the different people in the school district just to make sure that our kids are getting everything they need. Working with the police department. the juvenile network, everybody, just working with them to know, hey, we're here to help as a community and not condemn the next person. We're placing that bridge over those disorders because we want the families to come back together.
When you said that, it made me think about a story I read last week. I don't know if you remember about the college student that was shot and died from shot by campus police, and they ended up dying from the injuries. Long story short, the student had some mental health issues. I read the article, and the parents said that before that, the child had to be taken out of school for a while because they suffered some depression and other issues. And they felt, I guess, the child was ready to go back to school. At the time that the student called the campus police, they called them and saying, someone was attacking me, and gave him the description. Well, when the police showed up, it was him. And so they were confused of, we don't see anyone else. I don't know what happened in that moment, but the student was shot. My question is, okay, a student, whether it's high school, elementary, college, they have a mental issue. Their parents know they have these issues. Okay, should they reach out to the psychologist on campus, on site, and say, okay, here's my child, here's their issue? At what point do we look out for each other? Like on college, when you're in college, it's kind of like you're on your own almost. But to what degree do we need to still start looking out for each other?
Most college campuses have what they call disability services.
Okay.
And it's a disability.
Okay.
You can reach out to them, hey, we need this extra help, we need this, we need that. That's upon enrollment, and once you make that contact, then, it's evident that you'll get, you'll be, some of that stuff will be eliminated.
Okay.
You'll be able to have that person to lean on. Support groups. The mental health is a big issue. There's support groups everywhere, and more evident on college campuses because you have all these interns and, they need these group hours,
Okay.
So you have that support. Somebody dropped the ball. Don't know who dropped the ball. Somebody did. You can't blame mom and dad because they're an adult. But then you can't blame the person who was killed in this incident either, because of course they may not know who to reach out to get help from.
Okay.
They do have, and I was talking with someone probably about a week ago, and they have what they call death by suicide, or suicide by death.
Oh wow!
Through a cop. There's a terminology for it. And I don't remember the exact terminology, but in other words, you use the cop as a way to, you're tired, I give up, so we're going to provoke this cop to kill me.
And that's not fair, especially with the atmosphere of the country right now with some things that are going on. That's not fair to the police officer. So we need, as a community, we need to really step up and start looking at people that display these unusual behaviors and attitudes, and like something is not right. And we need to start, people are like, that's not my business, not my monkeys, not my circus, that's their problem, it's not my problem. Like, but at some point we need to start making other people's issues our issues, our brothers and our sisters, our neighbors. We need to start looking out for each other.
And I think I stated this earlier in the show. I mean, we can look out for them all day.
No.
But if they don't want help, we can't give them. You can't make somebody want something.
Okay.
We can't make that happen. That's a big thing. You can't make that happen. We can support them.
Okay.
One thing that we do in Craighead County is if you're arrested and you have a mental health issue, we'll have you screened.
Okay.
Midsouth, so we send our screeners out to the jail, and if they find something's wrong, then we take different measures.
Okay.
That's, as a community mental health center, that's how we're helping.
Okay.
Once you're arrested, hey, there's a Midsouth hold. If you have issues, there's a Midsouth hold, and you go, and we send our screeners out, and the screeners say, hey, this is what's going on with them. That's what's going on with them.
Okay. Okay. So there is help. Okay, there is help available. So we just need to know how to get the person. So can you tell us where, and for those of you who may not know, Midsouth Health Systems is a nonprofit organization. So they accept different types of insurance, and as along with Medicaid, Medicare, things of that nature. So don't be afraid to reach out and get the help you need. And for those of you who have family members or children with certain issues, don't be afraid to get them the help they need. We have to start blocking out these stigmas and these misconceptions about what mental health is, and start talking about what it isn't. Everyone deserves to have a normal, quote unquote, normal, happy life. So tell us how to get in touch with either you or someone at Midsouth.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna say this as a disclaimer.
Okay.
I do not receive any monetary compensations.
Okay.
For referring you to Midsouth.
Okay. There are other options, but
I'm not compensated for saying, "Hey, you should come to Midsouth." But I will tell you that we work very hard at making sure you get the help that you need. You can contact me via telephone. My office number is 870-972-4030, or you can email me at scarter@mshs.org. And if you don't want everybody in your business and you're like, I need to know the steps I need to take, go ahead, shoot me a message and we'll do what we need to do. I'll walk you through the steps. I'll even go to the schools, and in the majority of our Jonesboro elementary schools, in all of our Jonesboro elementary schools, Midsouth is the sole provider.
Okay.
So we have a case manager on site and we have a therapist on site at our magnet schools here in town. So here in Jonesboro, nobody has to know your business. Our doctor goes out to the school, the whole nine. You may have to bring your child to the clinic at maybe the first appointment. But if they're school based, they see them there at school. For adults, we're at 2707 Browns Lane. Okay. And that's where, if you've been in Jonesboro long enough, you know where the old service center used to be at. Yeah. It's right there off of Windover. 2707 Browns Lane is where our clinic is. Okay. And we have a pharmacy there. We have our adult outpatient as well as our children outpatient. Okay. We have a wonderful TFC program and more. But if you want help, this is where you come to. You can go to the hospital and tell the hospital what's going on. They'll St. Bernard's, NEA. They'll give you a referral if you're dealing with issues.
Alrighty, and as a disclaimer for KLK, we're not only advocating for Midsouth. Mr. Shamal just happened to be here, and he's representing Midsouth. So there are many other facilities available within Jonesboro. So as a disclaimer, KLK is not pushing just Midsouth.
Exactly.
Okay, because I don't need anybody coming after me or KLK saying y'all.
No, this is me. I work for Midsouth, so I feel like we are the number one mental health provider in Northeast Arkansas. She didn't say it, I did. I said it. Before I take it back, I add more to it.
Alrighty, so we just want everyone out there. I know this is not, mental health issues are not a laughing matter, but we just want everybody to get the help that they need. Don't ignore the signs and symptoms. If you feel like something is wrong, you feel like you are having some chemical imbalance in your brain and your body, go see your primary care physician. Talk to somebody in a professional setting. Talk to a friend, anybody, and they may direct you to go to your doctor, but talk to someone. It's okay to talk. And there's another thing. We just don't talk enough. I don't want people in my business. Well, sometimes somebody might need to be in your business, especially if you live alone and you suffer from mental health issues. You need someone that's going to check up on you every now and then, call you, text you, stop by, something. I don't ever want to get a phone call that one of my friends was found in their home, or just, you don't want to get those phone calls.
Yeah. How long we got?
About 2 minutes.
Okay. tell a quick story.
Okay.
There's this family, and they're moving.
Okay.
And they get all their stuff together. They go get on a plane. And when they get on this plane, they have a one-way ticket. But they get on the wrong plane.
Oh, God.
And they don't have the money to get another ticket. So they land in unknown territory. So what do they have to do?
Adjust.
They have to adjust and adapt.
Okay.
So they get in the community and they begin to build themselves up in that community.
Okay.
They adjust and they adapt. Well, somewhere along the lines, the dad said, hey, we're not in the right spot.
Okay.
We're supposed to be in a different place. We have to learn to adjust and adapt when we have mental illnesses.
Okay.
We have to learn that in life, we get a ticket. We don't know where we're going. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. So we have to adjust to that. When you're put in a foreign situation, you adjust and you adapt.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, thank you for that. So is that something that you all talk about a lot in different conferences that you go to?
Yeah.
And then how to help individuals adjust and adapt to their new
surroundings.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Is environmental change is one of the biggest things that trigger different different things with your life. For instance, if you're bipolar, a different environment is gonna, it's gonna trigger different attitudes.
Okay. I want to touch on bipolar when we come back. Some people throw that word around like it's just, commonplace, and there's so many misconceptions about what bipolar is. We probably could talk another hour about that, but I just want to touch on it a little bit so people can maybe get some understanding on what truly is a bipolar disorder and what is just something's wrong. You just got a bad attitude.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference in having a mood disorder and being bipolar.
Okay.
There's a difference.
All right, so we'll touch on that when we come back from our break. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Mr. Shamal Carter from Midsouth Health Systems. Please join us after the announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. An astounding 7 in 10 prepaid cards are not fully disclosing their fees to consumers, according to new research from creditcards.com. The study reviewed the fees printed on the packaging of 10 widely available prepaid cards sold at big retailers, drugstores, and payday lenders. Only 3 of the 10 cards analyzed met the proposed disclosure guidelines set forth by the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Payday lenders, Ace Cash Express, and Speedy Cash were the biggest offenders in terms of not disclosing fees. In fact, their cards would offer without any fee disclosures unless specifically requested. Knowing the details for cards' fee structures can make a big difference in terms of monthly expense, the real cost of using the card. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Danny Ford, owner of Glen St. Motors in Paragould, strongly believes in the values of family and hard work with a commitment to the men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces who keep America free, providing sales and servicing of Chevys, GMCs, Buicks, and Cadillacs, located at 6345 Highway 49 in Paragould. 870-565-4358. Details at glensstparagould.com and at klekfm.org. God bless our troops.
Arkansas Early Learning is accepting applications right now for childcare. We have locations all across Northeast Arkansas. Applications online at arearlylearning.org. That's arearlylearning.org. Right here in the community at no cost. Arkansas Early Learning, offering kids a head start.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
From the KLEK Community Calendar, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Jonesboro is now accepting housing applications. Habitat for Humanity of Greater Jonesboro is a nonprofit organization that extends a hands-up opportunity to those in need of home ownership. Since 1992, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Jonesboro has helped build homes for a total of 20 families. To become a recipient for a Habitat home, a family must meet the following qualifications: demonstrate a need for housing, be willing to partner, and have the ability to pay. Applications are available at www.jonesborohabitat.com or at their office at 520 West Monroe Avenue in Jonesboro. More information is available via Michael Sullivan at 870-203-9898 or M. Sullivan at jonesborohabitat.com. Applications are due October 15th, 2017.
KLEK is starting a new fundraiser which will allow listeners to donate to KLEK while buying groceries. KLEK is a part of the Kroger Community Rewards fundraising program. When shoppers visit a participating Kroger and scan his or her Kroger Plus Shoppers card, a portion of the savings goes back to KLEK to help keep it on the air. Details on how to sign up for the program are available at KrogerCommunityRewards.com and at KLEKFM.org. This is a KLEK fundraiser.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. Again, if you have any questions or comments for Mr. Carter, please give us a call at 870-277-1080 or drop us a message on our Facebook live stream. We just want to say thank you to everyone out there who has been listening and watching. We really appreciate your support. Again, going back to the community thing, we couldn't do what we do without you, so thank you all for your support. So we're going to wrap up with some final thoughts. I don't have any specific questions. I can't seem to get my thoughts together today. So I'm going to let Mr. Carter follow up with, final thoughts on mental health and mental issues. Oh, I'm sorry. We were going to talk about bipolar. Mm-hmm. And then, so help us understand some differences in how to recognize true bipolar disorder.
I'm not technically a clinician.
Okay.
So I can give you what I've seen.
Okay.
It's a label because bipolar is that is a real disorder, but the term is used too loosely in our community.
Okay.
Somebody's heard it. And then they get into it with their wife, and she's happy 1 minute, and then she's mad the next minute. And holler, "You're bipolar."
It's called estrogen.
Bipolar is a very serious disorder. Being able to recognize it isn't as simple as, "Oh, you're happy one day, mad the next day," because you can have a dysregulated mood disorder where you're not able, you're not consistent in how you're feeling.
Oh, wow.
Bipolar, you're depressed one day or for a week and it just hits you out of nowhere, and then out of nowhere you're just happy and chipper, and then the next minute you're just down and you can't control it. It's not being mad for 2 minutes and then happy the next. Something, for a better lack of word, pisses you off, then that you're gonna be mad. That's you're human. Versus I'm sitting here watching a movie and I just get mad, but I'm watching a love story.
Okay.
How do I get mad watching a love story? That people use it so loose, and that's one thing that I do want to put in my final thoughts.
Okay.
As a community, stop home diagnosing. Stop self-medicating.
Get off of WebMD.
WebMD does not give you what you need. It can say, okay, this may be it. Let me ask my doctor. You know, let's not say, well, this is what's wrong, and go get Jim Bob's medication and be like, well, he got it, so I'm going to take his medicine. No, let's not do that. Let's stop self-medicating. And when I say self-medicating, I'm just not talking about over-the-counter drugs. I'm talking about prescription, everything. You know, stop self-medicating. You know, go get what's for your body and get what you need. I spoke with a lady about 2 months ago, and she said, "Where do I start?"
Okay.
And these are my final thoughts, and I'll give it back to you. Give it right back to you. She said, "Where do I start?" She said, "For the last 8 years, I've been with 3 different providers, and I have 3 different diagnoses. Who do I trust?
Oh, wow.
My child isn't getting better. What do I do?" I said, "Well, what do you mean your child isn't getting better?" She said, "Well, I'm doing what they say do." And she said, "This is my last resort." She said, "I want help, but at this point, my child is tired of going through the motions because the medicine is supposed to help him, but he's took one medication that made him angry. He took one medication that made him depressed. And now we're on, you know, this medication, and we really need help."
Wow.
I said, "Well, what are you doing different at home?" "Well, we're not doing nothing different. We're just taking the medicine."
Oh.
I said, "Well, that's the first problem." I said, anytime there's an issue, your environment is a major key change. It's a major thing. It's a key in the major change that you have to put in effect for the family. So I leave these final thoughts with you guys.
Okay.
If there's a problem, you can't just change it overnight. You have to change your surroundings.
Okay.
You have to change your environment. If your child has a mental illness, honestly, you have to change the way that you talk to them, because they may not comprehend the way that we comprehend. Keep fighting and advocating for your child. Do not let them get washed away. You know, and that's my final thought. Be there for the family. You know, and if you need me, again, you can reach me at Midsouth Health Systems at 870-972-4030, or you can email me at scarter@mshs.org.
All right, and so in our last few minutes, we definitely want to go back over the chili cook-off information. You don't want to miss this event. Thursday, November 16th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And even though the flyer right now says to be announced location, but it's going to be at Allen Park.
It's going to be at Allen Park, it is.
And this is a wonderful event. Free entry for those that are cooking. There are 15 slots available, but your entry fee will, even though you're not paying your entry fee, you are required to bring non-perishable food items and toys that equal up to $50.
Yes, ma'am. $50 or greater.
Okay. And also for the event admission, it's non-perishable food items for a holiday dinner and or a toy. So you cannot beat this. You're bringing something that's going to help somebody else, and you're benefiting from people's cooking skills.
Right. And if you want to register, reach out to me. We have 8 slots left. Hey, if you feel like you can get a team together and you can cook, hey, I want to sign you up.
I want to taste some good chili. Can somebody make some mild chili though, or put the peppers on the side for me?
We'll also have hot dogs.
Okay.
So you can make chili dogs. We'll have sour cream. We'll have cheese. We'll have crackers. You know, so this could be your out to eat with the family night. You know.
Okay. Okay, so chili cook-off, chili dinner, chili fellowship dinner, everything all rolled into one. And the first and second and third prize gets $100 in a trophy, $75 in a trophy, or $50 in a trophy. There'll be 2 guest speakers, and there's also something for children to do. There's a coloring contest, ages 3 to 12. Prizes will be awarded. Oh my goodness, so much going on. And then coming up in December is the Spirit of Giving extravaganza.
Yeah.
And when those details become available, you put together a flyer, please let me know so I can pass that around as well.
I will.
We want to thank everyone out there for listening, for tuning in. Join us tomorrow for another session of Community Conversations. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. A